Hello, dear friends. We are going to discuss core assumptions of Marxist approach, and it is very essential when we are going to study the Marxist approach to study international relations. We should be knowing that what are those core assumptions which are being firmly accepted by Marxist theorists. So it gives us fair idea about their way of thinking, how they are perceiving things. That is why it is very essential that we should know the core assumptions of these thinkers, and it is applicable throughout all those theories, whether it is liberalism, realism, or social constructivism. Now let's come to these one by one. The first is the significance of economic base. Now, what is economic base? Marx says that every single development taking place in this world is based on the economic relations or economic base, and we find this economic base based on who controls means of production. So there are two classes. One is have and another is have nots. Have and have nots. So have are capitalist class and have nots are proletariat class. Laborers, they do not have access to the means of productions. They are just cog in the wheel of production. So there is constant struggle between these two classes, and that is the essence of politics at global level or at domestic level. That you need to understand. The first is significance of economic base. Anything happen, if I am teaching, you are listening, every single activity taking place, there is one central thing, that is economic structure. And this is also being called that Marxism is economic determinism. Every single thing you are putting on this particular point, significance of economic base. So when they are going to explain the international development, they are going to explore the component of global capitalism. When we are exploring the tussle happening between various social classes in domestic politics, we find out that there is capitalist class and there is proletariat class, and there is tussle going on in these two social groups. Now the same things we are going to look at international level. So there is coalition of capitalist class through various means, transnational corporations having their various agreements, global supply chains, global value chains. So there is have and have nots, developed country, developing countries, first world, third world. There are various these social groups, and the base is economic relations. And in this context, that is global capitalism. You must understand this. The nature of global capitalism we have to understand if we want to understand the international politics or international relations. Every single answer lies in the nature of global capitalism. This is what Marxist says. Second point, world politics is best studied as total systems, not as isolated parts. Total system. Forget about this state, that state, this nation, that nation. No. These are superficial boundaries. You have to look to this particular thing, global capitalism, and which is driven by profit. If you talk about sovereignty, if you talk about national interest, if you talk about national power, anything, answer lies in global capitalism and their search for profit. They can extend the sovereignty, they can decrease the sovereignty, they can pool the sovereignty, they can violate the sovereignty. Any legal fiction you assume, they can create it. It is this economic power. With the help of this economic power, they can do anything. They can capture the president of one country, sovereign country, and they can put them in their prison. This is what USA did. For what? For enhancing the profit. Let's capture the oil fields of Venezuela and let's enhance the profit of our capitalist class. This is what Trump thought when he kidnapped the president of Venezuela. Global capitalism, deciding whatever is happening in industrial relations. So it is the whole structure, not these superficial legal fictions you are thinking that this is sovereignty, this is nation state, this is the country. Nothing, my dear friends. These all are fictions just by created by global capitalism for their own security. This is what is the Marxist assumptions. Now they rejects the such categorization. Like newer realist says that there is order at domestic level, but there is disorder and anarchy at international level. The social constructivist says that there is a material reality and there is some additional assumptions related to that. Marxists, they reject it. They say forget about creating these kind of different spheres. Now they are arguing that when you are creating these two segments, domestic and international, you are forgetting one thing, that who is deriving the entire politics. It is the desire of capitalist to gain more and more profit. So if you call order at international level, that order is also result of this. And if you say disorder at international level, this conflict is also given by this capitalism. Again, you are talking about these legal fictions and all that is created by this global capitalism. You can call it hegemony of ideas through explanation of liberalism and neoliberalism. You can give it any name. You can call it interdependence. That is eyewash. It is the creating dependencies. We will explore that. Next point, interdisciplinary. It is interdisciplinary. We trace how these conflicts are coming from the ancient ages, primitive society, then slave master's relationship, and this is how the history is moving from history to polity to economy. Every single thing is interrelated here. You cannot study these in very segment. So Marxist theorists explore it in an interdisciplinary manner. Then who are the key actors in international politics? Now realists say that it is the nation states. It is the states which are most important actors. Liberal says that it is the social groups. It is the very social groups. It is international institutions which play significant role in international politics. Now Marxists have their own different assumptions. Now they talk about have and have nots in international politics. People who are having access to the global capital, who are controlling the means of productions at international level, the capitalist class, and they are other who are at receiving ends. There is huge inequality in international world, and this is clearly visible. So these are the social groups, and they are fighting. They have access to the power. Capitalist class, they are having access to the power, state power. As we have already discussed, that every single thing, every single political and cultural and every aspect is based on economic base. So when they control the means of production, they are also controlling the state power. Understand this. But when we are talking about these peoples who are at receiving ends, very social groups, they are not having access to that powers, that organized power. They organize themselves in terms of social movements, labor politics, women politics, LGBT groups. These are the social movements. They are fighting for their own rights. They are marginalized. They are the key actors. Social groups, various social groups are the key actors. Various classes are the key actors. Market, economic forces, they are the key actors in international politics. This is what Marxist choice talks about. Now, understand this. We are talking about global class structure, and this is related to structuralism. Structure. We talk that there is global capitalist structure or system that is also being explored by world system theory. So when we are talking about global class structure, there are these two classes which are dividing the entire world: core, periphery, core, semi-periphery, and periphery, first world, third world, north, south, developed and developing countries. So these are various structures, and the politics is taking place between these structures. And what it reflects, what is the key feature? It is this exploitation. Exploitation is happening. Core is exploiting the periphery, north is exploiting the south, developed countries exploiting the developing countries. They are becoming more and more developed, and developing countries, they are becoming poor, they are slipping into the third world. And what is the reason behind it? Global capitalism. And what is the key feature of global capitalism? That is unequal exchange. You are saying that we are having interdependent relationship based on certain rules and regulation, certain international regimes, WTO, etc. But all those rules, they are just applicable on developing countries, least powerful countries. It doesn't apply to the UK, USA, and all. They can violate at their will. Unequal exchange. They will take away your raw material and they will sell the finished products at very higher cost. Unequal exchange. And who is got exploited? Developing countries, third world, periphery. Though this is the structure of world capitalist system, international politics, and this is the key features. Politics occurs within a capitalist world system. This is what we discussed. World system. There we see core, we see semi-periphery, we see periphery countries, and they have their own role in that system. And again, the interplay is between, on the basis of unequal exchange, exploitation is happening, huge gap of inequality is coming there. This is what we need to understand. Now, if we see the similarity between the Marxism and realist or neo-realist, they focus on material structures or material gains, profit, more and more power in terms of economic, or however, what is the difference? Marxists focus on this production, capital accumulation, more and more profit, and realist and neo-realist, they focus on the expansion of military power. So their focus is on profit. Why this is happening? Understand? If I discuss with you people that why this is happening, if we go to the core discussion, when the idea of core and periphery is given by Lenin, if we discuss, he says that capitalism becomes saturated in domestic sphere. Now what it needs, it want to expand itself into the international sphere. For what? For market, more and more market for raw material. And now this give the impetus to imperialism. So the war between the imperialist power for controlling different colonies is based on this, based on global capitalism pushing to capture more and more market and exploit more and more raw materials from these countries. So capitalism is the moving force. Now it is this control of capital which is getting reflected in international politics. Who controls the power? Who controls the power? Those who controls the means of production, those who have material power. They are directing states to do, even if you want to indulge in cooperation or you want to indulge in war, it is based on this calculation that how we are going to maximize our material capacities, our profit. Let's initiate war so that our military industrial complex get more and more profits. So the decision of life and death is based on the profit calculation, cost benefit analysis. So anarchy is not as the key facts. This is what Marxist says. It is the conflict rooted in capitalist class contradictions. When we are saying that there is this conflict is going on, there is this competition is going on between the world capitalists, that is for profit. How to gain more and more profit, how to ensure that. So you are saying about anarchy, it is not anarchy, it is this quest for more and more material power. This is how Marxists explain it. So this conflict is based on who controls it and how they want to ensure more and more profit. Next point. Now what drives the conflict? Competition or capital, technology, resources, markets between dominant and subordinated classes and region. This is the conflict going on. This is happening. Two groups. You can call it core, periphery, first world, second world, and there is conflict going on. At one level, there is conflict between the core and core regions as well. This is what is happening in world politics. There is conflict between these as well. And they sometimes show the cooperation to exploit these. And when you call interdependence, that is not interdependence, that is creating dependencies. Control the market, exploit the raw materials, make international organizations to reflect that we are doing good and exploit them. Whatever structure they are creating just to exploit, exploitation, more and more profit. That is what is Marxism point out, even the critical theories. What is the method? Historical materialism. So when we are saying the conflict is happening, even if you are tracing the beginning of that conflict, it is these material forces taking place from the primitive world itself. Slave society, master and slave relationship. For what? Someone is controlling the material power, someone is not having access to that power. Conflict. So this is expanding to that level. When there is saturation at domestic level, when there is no more avenues to grow and explore more profit, you are going to the international market, other countries. It is global capitalism, which is moving every single thing. And then comes the neo-Marxist. They says that it has been made natural to everyone that whatever is happening, it is good, it is bound to happen. They are pointing this out that it is not bound to happen, it has been created. There are some structures of cohesion and structures of having consent, and this consent is taken by what? Through the hegemony of ideas. And here, liberalism and neoliberalism, that when trade is taking place, it is good for everyone, it is normal, it is it is the essence of the entire world system. End of history debate, that it is only this liberal democratic order which is suitable for everyone, and now you have to accept it. So neo-Marxists, they challenges these assumptions that no, these are the domination of ideas and we can change it. So these are the core assumptions of Marxist thought, Marxist approach to study IR, and we're supposed to apply it whenever we see some struggle going on at various levels. We point out that, see, this is how Marxists see the struggle, and that makes our answer super. This will be helpful to you when you use it in your answer and your discussion. I hope you enjoyed this session. All the best.